Hi guys, I'm Anita and I'm back with another video. Today is time for my Monday reads. It's an exciting day because I just started on my new job today and I had a really good day. It was fun. I was just thrown right into it and it was a nice way of doing it, I guess. Good thing is that I have some previous experience and it was pretty straightforward with some of the things. So yeah, it was nice. It's just going to be different having to register every single hour that I do, so that I can give reasons why I have spent this time on a specific assignment. And yeah, so that was a good first day and so far so good. I'm still not sure if I'm able to listen to audios at work, but I don't see why I can't, because I have my own assignments already, like so when I do stuff for that, I should be able to do it. I just have to ask my colleague if she minds, because we don't even have radio, so it's really silent, and I'm used to having some background noise when I work, so I would like to have at least be able to listen to an audio, but we'll see what happens. But let's talk about last week's reading, what I finished and what I'm currently reading and what my plans are for the coming week. Before I get into that though, I want to say that next Monday I won't have a Monday Reads Up. I already know that because I will be off on vacation and I will be in London, to be specific. So I'm traveling to London on Sunday and coming back home around Thursday-ish, I guess. For that reason, I can't do a Monday Reads next week, but I might try and make a video that can go up while I'm away, so you will have that to look forward to, we'll see. And I might do a Friday Reads when I get back, if I have the energy, and talk a little bit about what I've read up until then, so I don't have too much to talk about on Monday, but we'll see what ends up happening. But let's get into the reading from last week and my stats. In total, my goal was to read a total of 1,789 pages with an average of 255 pages per day, and I ended up reading a total of 1,235 pages with an average of 176 pages per day. My main goals was to finish 5 of the books, and I did finish 5. One of them was not one of that I was hoping for. The one that I didn't get to was one of my main focuses, so yeah, but it's okay, I still did get through quite a bit. So let's talk about the books that I did read. The first thing that I finished was Devil in Winter by Kleypas. This is book 3 in the Wallflower series. The Wallflower series is historical romance set in the Regency era, following these women who are like getting older and older, and still they're wallflowers. They're not the ones to be picked at the different balls around, and they have made a pact to help each other get their suitable husband for themselves. This one we're following, I forgot her name. That is this typical thing with me. I am not very good with remembering names, but our main character is in a bit of a situation because her parents has said that she has to marry her cousin Eustace, and so that she can marry them and they have money. So the Eustace is also really into this because he can get money and he's a terrible person. But in order for her not to do that, she has to do quick actions, and she decides to persuade a guy called St. Vincent to be her husband, because he is in a debt. He has to marry to get access to some money, and he did something terrible in the previous book, so he's pretty it's pretty difficult for him to say no to this offer, and they elope, and so it's like a marriage of convenience thing, but then they become friends and it turns into more. I really enjoyed the series so far, but this one I also enjoyed it, don't get me wrong. I thought it was pretty fun. I just wasn't as into the characters as I was in the previous book, for instance. That was a really good, really excellent on the characters, but I did enjoy it overall, and I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. The next thing that I finished was Fullmetal Alchemist Volume 10 by Hiromu Arakawa. This is a manga series that follows these 2 brothers who are alchemists. They're the youngest alchemist in the world. They did something wrong because they wanted to try to get their mother back after she passed away and using alchemy magic, and you're not allowed to do that. So it backfired, and it ended up with one of them having lost its arm and its leg, and the other one is captured in a suit of armor thing. And it's just really amazing. This one was split up between the two brothers' perspectives. They were in different places, and it definitely took a change, I guess. And I'm very interested in seeing how this is going to change in the next volume. I really enjoyed it, and I give it 5 stars. These just are really good mangas. The next thing that I finished was Through the Grinder by Cleo Coyle. This is book 2 in the Coffee House Mystery. The Coffee House Mystery follows this woman who is the manager of this coffee house. She has a daughter who is like 21 years old, and she is divorced, and so she's by herself. And in this one, she starts trying out the dating community. I can make it work for my summer romance book bingo because it works heavily on dating and romance. And she is trying a speed dating thing and all of these things, and meeting because her daughter is actually trying it, so she has to try it for herself to see if it's safe. And what happens when the one she starts seeing, that she becomes really happy with, is possibly a murder. She believes that he's not, so she's trying to make sure that he is innocent, or to find clues to find the actual killer to these people. And the problem is that in this case, the killer is pushing this victim, so they don't have any evidence suggesting that it's murder. Everyone just believes that it was suicide or an accident. So yeah, it was really interesting, and I enjoyed it, and it's works for the prompt that I have about food or cooking, because our main character first and foremost is working in the coffee shop, but there's also a lot of talk about cooking and stuff like that, because her daughter is goes to culinary school, and her ex-husband does a lot about cooking. So I figured it works with that prompt. So I'm happy about that. The next one that I also finished yesterday was The Unhoneymooners by Christina. This is the one that I didn't expect to finish, but when I finished the audio of the other one, I was out walking and I just started the other one again, and I just ended up finishing it because I was actually really absorbed in the remaining part of it. This one follows our main character, Olive, and she goes on, after her sister gets married, she becomes extremely sick with food poisoning. Because it's a non-refundable ticket, she asks her twin sister, which is our main character, Olive, if she could go on this honeymoon instead of her, because they had paid for it and all that. And then she goes on this honeymoon with someone she absolutely hates. She doesn't really like him because she believes that he really hates her, and so they have never really gotten on. But they both go to and the one she goes on the honeymoon with is her sister's husband's brother. So they go on this pretend honeymoon together, and yeah, goes from there. It's a haters to lovers plot, and I really enjoyed it, and definitely want to read more from Christina Lauren. I think I'm gonna use this one though for the author who writes under pseudonym. I know that I'm gonna read a Nora Roberts book as well, but it could fit under that one because Christina Lauren is a pseudonym for 2 women writing under the same under this author name. So it is a pseudonym. And so I don't know if I'm going to use that and then use the Nora Roberts book for something else. We'll see how it fits towards closer to the end, but it's nice to know that I have at least it covered. And I gave this one 4 out of 5 stars as well. Very much enjoyed it. The last and final thing that I finished last week was Fire Touch by Patricia Briggs. This is the 9th book in the Mercy Thompson series. It's my favorite urban fantasy series. Although I have loved the previous 2 books in this series, I really, really enjoyed them. This one, while it was a really good book, it was just not as amazing as the other ones. I felt like the plot was a little, I don't know, slow or not as engaging as the previous ones. So I don't know if but I did really appreciate the ending. the later part of it. And I'm interested in reading on in this series, obviously, because I do really enjoy these characters. But I think one of the things that I miss is that her Mercy's dynamic with Warren. In this one, like, he hasn't been very much in the story since the past couple of books, and I think I missed that. And because Warren is one of my favorite characters, and their Mercy and Warren's friendship is amazing. But we'll see. I gave this one 4 to 4.5 stars. I'm not sure yet, but it is in that scale, so it's not a bad book. It's just not as great as the previous 2 that I gave 5 stars to. So those are the things that I finished last week. Let's go over the things that I am planning on reading for next week. In total for next week, my plan is to read 1,865 pages with an average of 266 pages per day. It's not gonna happen, but this is... First things first, I still have to read Hands of Oberon by Roger Zelazny. This is the only book that I didn't get to last week, and I didn't even pick it up. I have made small tabs to what I have to read a day per day to finish this by Saturday, and so I hope that I'll be able to do that. I have a little time in the morning to read, or when I get home, so I might be able to read it then, but we'll see if I do that or if I do it just when I get home from work every day. Another one that I push back into my current reading is The Rook by Daniel O'Malley. I still haven't picked it up I put it on my list like a couple of weeks ago, but I didn't pick it up then, and now I'm gonna put it back on and definitely try and finish it this week. I also put some tabs in here for what I have to read a day, and it's like 16 pages or 18 pages to finish this by Saturday, so it's not that bad. So I think I'm going to definitely try and get through it. Now for the books that I need to start and finish, I have 3 books, and the first one is Murder on Marble Row by Victoria Thompson. This is book 6 in the Gaslight Mystery series, and I already started it. I listened to about 40 minutes today, which is probably going to be my average per day if I don't listen to it at work. So that's pretty average for me now, and we'll see if I can push something into my actual day-to-day job, but we'll see. The next thing I would also like to start and finish is The Readers from Broken Wheel Suggests or Recommends by Katarina Bivald. This I had also on my to be read last week or the week before, but I decided instead to push my July TBR books into my reading instead, because it was more important to me than to get through my library books. And now I need to try and see if I can get through this one so I can hand it in at the library soon, because I think it's coming up, the due date is coming up, and yeah, so we'll see if I can finish it over this next week. And it's a bit of a longer audio, so we'll see how it goes. And the last and final thing that I like to finish this week is Ottoline at Boarding School, or Ottoline på Kostskole, which is the Danish title, by Chris Riddell. I read the first one, Ottoline and the Yellow Cat, like a couple of weeks ago and really enjoyed it, and so I've already started this actually. I read the first 29 pages this morning. Yeah, I didn't put in but I have a sheet of paper here and I know I got to it, so I enjoyed it. I'm enjoying it so far. It's pretty cute, and we'll talk more about it later, and it will be my very easy read this week, and it's always nice to have something that's easy to get through. I also have put down a book that I need to continue if I have time to read something, and that is going to be Christine by Stephen King. I really like to get back to this one, so I hope that I'll find time to read something from this over the week. We'll have to see what my time ends up being like, and yeah, I just would like to make some progress in this one, and it would be nice, so we'll see how that goes. The last and final thing I've put on my TBR for the next week is because on Sunday I'm going to London. My plan is to only focus on ebooks that next week. So on Sunday when I go, I will be starting on The Wicker King by Kate Ankrum, which is on my TBR. So that is why I have put that on my to start pile. So these are all of my plans for this next week and what I read over the past week. Let me know in the comments down below what you read that last week and how you did on your reading. Did you have any goals set for yourself? I know sometimes, for me at least, it could be a little bit stressful with catching up to everything by the end of the month. But yeah, I actually just hit 100 books finished yesterday, so that was pretty exciting. We're halfway through the year and I've already read 100 books, so I am way ahead of my goal, and it's nice not to have to stress too much about that if my reading changes a lot. So we'll see. Yeah, this was all I had for you today. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next video very soon. Goodbye!